Hey everyone, welcome to our lesson. Our topic for this day is all about fractions. But what exactly is a fraction? What are the parts of a fraction? And how can we visualize or imagine a fraction? Don't worry, I will help you understand and answer all of those questions step by step so that by the end of this lesson you will clearly understand all of those. So let's get started. It says here that a fraction is a number that represents a part of a whole. But how? How do we say so? That fraction represents a part of a whole. Let's visualize it. Imagine a whole pizza divided into 8 equal parts. Then suddenly, you decided to take or maybe eat just one slice of the pizza. Now, the slice that you took or ate is what we call the part. It is the part of the whole pizza. And now we know what is the meaning of part and how many was it? Again, one. One only because I only took just one slice. What about the whole? Okay. The whole is the total number of the slices of the pizza, which is 8. If we combine that part and whole, we form a fraction. And this is how it looks like. That is the fraction. Okay? If you notice, the number on top represents the part that I took. And the number at the bottom represents the total number of slices in the whole pizza. And this is how we represent a fraction as a part of a whole based on its definition. But if you're still a little confused, let me give you another example. Again, part and whole lang po ang gagamitin natin. Nothing else. Let's say I have a one whole pizza. I divided it into 8 equal slices again. But this time, I'm going to take 3 slices. So, what will be my fraction? It will be 3 over 8. Okay. And why 3? Because 3 is the number of slices that I took. And that's the part. And 8 is the total number of slices in the whole pizza. That's the whole. And that's how we perform our fraction. Now, if you don't like pizza, that's okay. Let's use cake instead. Suppose I have a cake, divided it into 12 equal parts, 12 equal slices, and I take 5 slices. Our fraction will be 5 over 12. Again, 5 is the part that I took, and 12 is the total number of slices in the whole cake. Now, here is a good question. Mom, does the shape always have to be a circle? The answer is no, because a fraction does not depend on the shape. It does not depend. Because if you notice, I've been giving you a example like pizza and a cake which is in the shape of a circle. No po. No po. Any shape can be divided into equal parts. For example, a bar of chocolate. A bar of a chocolate is not in the shape of a circle, but I can divide it into equal parts, which is, if I'm going to count it, it's going to be 28 pieces po yan. Then, let's say the chocolate bar has 28 equal pieces. You may count it if you want, if you may. And I decided to eat or maybe give you the 6 pieces of it. then the fraction will be 6 over 8. 6 is the part that I taken and 28 is the total number of pieces in the whole chocolate bar. So remember, a fraction simply represents a part of a whole, no matter what shape it is. And before we end, let me mention something very important. Whenever you are working with fractions, you are actually dividing. Why is that? If you notice, when I divide a whole pizza or a cake or even a chocolate bar into equal parts, I am dividing the whole. And that is exactly what a fraction represents. It's division. So in simple terms, fraction and division mean the same thing. Maybe in our next episodes, you will understand this idea even more deeply. But for now, just remember a fraction represents division. Now that you already know how to write or form a fraction, let me teach you the different parts of a fraction. A fraction has three main parts: the numerator, the fraction bar, and the denominator. Now, the question is, where can we find this in our fraction? Which is which? First, the numerator. The numerator is the number on top, which is in our case, it's 6. It represents the part or how many parts we are taking. Next, the denominator. The denominator is the number at the bottom. It represents the whole or the total number of equal parts. Next, in between them, we have the fraction bar. The fraction bar is the line that separates the numerator and the denominator. It acts as a separator between the two numbers and it can also mean division. So remember, top number is the numerator, bottom number is the denominator, and the line between them is the fraction bar. Now, I have some practice problems for you to answer. You may pause the video so you can solve them properly. For now, let's answer this question. For our first problem, it says that what is the correct fraction of the figure below? Using this flower with sets of petals around it. So imagine that this image is a flower. Using this flower, we need to come up with a fraction. So how do we do that? Remember that to form a fraction, we need the number of parts and the total number of the whole. Using that pattern, we can say that the answer for this is letter C. Why is that? How many parts were shaded? 2, right? And how about the total number of petals in whole? It's 7. You may count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it satisfies the letter C. 2, 7. Next, the question is, what is the correct representation of the fraction 1, 8? So meaning I'm going to take just 1. 1 lang yung isi-shade ko. But then A, B, C, D, all of them, 1 yung may shade sa nila. Isa lang yung may shade. But then, what about 8? 8 parts sila lahat. So I'm going to count letter A. I only have 3. 1, 2, 3. Letter B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. Letter C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Letter D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So meaning, letter D is our answer. Kasi 1 yung may shaded, 8 sila lahat. Okay. Next. What is the numerator of the fraction 5, 7? Again, what's the meaning of the numerator? The number at the top. So what is our number? What is our numerator? It's 5. Kasi siya yung nasa taas. Okay? Next. The question is, what is the denominator of the fraction 13 over 7? Again, the meaning of denominator is the number at the bottom. What do you think is our number at the bottom? It's 17, which is letter D. So, meaning yung 13 po natin, siya yung ating numerator. Okay? Next. Match each fraction to the correct figure. Draw lines to connect them. 4, 9. Okay. So, ibig sabihin, 4 daw yung may shaded, tapos 9 lahat. What do you think kung saan to nagmamatch si 4, 9? Aling figure dyan? Ang minamatch niya po is this one. Pwede niyong bilangin kung ilan yung may kulay. Ilan po yung may kulay dyan? 1, 2, 3, 4. Bilangin niyo sa lahat. Lahat ilang pieces yan? 9 po yan. Kaya dyan siya magmamatch. Next. 5 over 13. Okay. Alin kaya dyan sa atin? Ang answer natin dito ay this one. Again, pwede nyo ulit bilangin yan. Kung hindi tayo kumbinsido, if you're not convinced with the answer, you can count it. You may count it. Next, 2, 4. This one. 2 yung may kulay, then 4 sila lahat. Then, next, 8, 12. Again, you may count it. 8 yung may shaded natin dyan. And 12 pieces sila lahat. Okay. Next, yung last na, yan siya. 7 yung may kulay, 14 sila lahat. And that's how you do fractions. If you got them all correct, great job. If not, that's okay. You can always go back and review the lesson. And that's it for today's lesson. This marks the end of episode 1 about the fraction. If you want to learn more, you may visit my channel or check out the playlist for our fraction series. I will put the link in the description below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in our next video.